Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus and see how this particular phone holds up in the later part of 2023. Now, the first thing I'll definitely tell you is this particular phone I think is a very interesting one because I don't really think it's worth buying, but so many people love this phone. They loved it when it first came out, and it almost has like a cult following in a way, more so maybe the Note 10, but the whole entire Note series was just such a crazy, device in my opinion, and I still love this phone a lot. I think it had a lot of capability. Let's go and see how it holds up in the later part of 2023. Now, first of all, the outside of this phone, nothing has really changed. You're still getting that 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED display, and it's a very good looking panel. I love this phone when it first came out, and I still think to this day Samsung did an excellent job on this particular phone, which is a very, very nice thing. It's a very big display, it has very little bezels, and it looks awesome. It's 60 Hz though, so kind of keep that in mind, but I don't think that's really that big of a deal for a lot of people. Now on top of that, you're getting USB Type-C port on the bottom, you're getting that S Pen, which is really cool, and you're also getting that micro SD card slot on this phone too, which is another really cool feature. On the back, you're getting the standard glass back, which I think looks fine. There's not really like a lot to complain about here. I like this phone. It's not a frosted glass back, but it still feels very good. You're getting that triple camera setup on this phone too, wireless charging, reverse wireless charging as well. And overall, it is such an amazing phone in so many different ways that I still look at a phone like this and I'm actually very shocked at the way, Samsung approached this phone. I'm surprised they even cut out the Note lineup in general. I feel like they could have done a little bit of a better job, keeping it supported for a little bit longer. But I think regardless, it is a very, very good phone, and I'm a massive fan of the way this phone feels on the outside. Camera-wise, I think we all kind of know this. It's a very good camera. You can do 4K at 60 on the front and the back. Still holds up quite well, and I think from that perspective alone, once again, there's not really that much to complain about here. But the biggest thing I could probably complain about for the most part would probably be something along the lines of its software updates. So this phone is pretty much no longer getting, software updates anymore. It may be getting some security updates here and there, but for the most part, this particular phone is no longer getting those software updates that we actually want to see. So this is something that can be kind of annoying and kind of concerning for some people, because if you're wanting to get a device that is still supported with software, this one is not going to be getting it, and that is going to be probably the biggest turnoff for a lot of people who buy a phone like this. Like I said, if you're purchasing a phone like the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, you don't want it to be completely outdated already. And there's a high likelihood that if you're buying this phone today, it might already be outdated. So just keep that in mind. Once again, I don't want to recommend people to purchase a phone if it's already outdated, and that's kind of what's going on when you're getting a device like this. So once again, kind of keep that in mind in the back of your head. Not a big deal, but just one thing to keep in mind. Performance-wise, still pretty decent for how old this phone is. It had that Snapdragon 855 chipset inside with 12 gigabytes of RAM. And it's actually a good amount of RAM to have on a device like this. You have to kind of keep that in mind. And it still actually is a pretty good performing phone from that particular standpoint as well, which I think is actually very, very impressive. So what I'll tell you is overall, I think the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus is a very interesting phone because on paper, a lot of the, chipset, a lot of the hardware in this phone still holds up well. Like the 12 gigabytes of RAM, that's a lot of RAM to have on a phone. But it just doesn't make any sense, for me to recommend purchasing a phone like this because it is already a severely outdated phone, and you are much better off purchasing a phone that is still actually fully supported with software. So that's kind of how I see this particular phone holding up right now. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.